Right, so here is another helpful tip. So how an ideal structure should look like. So basically, this is one of the accounts that we have been auditing, and it's spending like 100K per month on Google Ads. This is actually lower than they spent last month, simply on the merit that they they're trying to contract in order to reduce ROAS. That was what the client has told me. But basically, the audit here tells us a few things. First and foremost, without taking a look at anything else, we can clearly see that 78, almost 80% of conversions are coming from search. Now, to just give you some context, this is an e-commerce account. The problems with it is that, well, it does pose a problem. So it has 1,100 products, which are split over 300 categories for the reasons that I'm not going to bother you with. But basically, the gist of it is that the structure is sorely lacking. And for example, you can clearly see that that the account is not optimized because we have massive variation in ROAS altogether. Now this is starting to get evened out a bit, but of course it will take a lot of time because by then you will know that it's optimized. So what is the ideal structure? Really depends. There is no ideal structure. You can ask any marketer. They will tell you their ideal structure, how they think it should look like. But basically, the gist of it is that it should be account specific. So let's talk about this particular account. So here, for example, it's a very search heavy account with 26 campaigns. Now, the problem is it's very search heavy in volume, where, for example, this particular bit here, so it's 40K, so 40% of the entire spend is spent on dynamic search ads, and an additional 21% of the spend is spent on branded keywords. Now, this is set up, and there is no nice way to say it, horribly. And not only are these effectively not as profitable as they should be for the reasons that I cannot disclose, but basically the structure is not the best, because, for example, if you have a very search heavy structure, you should work towards alleviating that structure with dynamic campaigns. And here we have dynamic search ads campaign, which kind of makes sense if you think about it, because the client most likely saw that dynamic search ads were picking up a lot of the traffic because it didn't need as much complexity. Basically, dynamic search ads in this case were good at picking up all of these differences between 300 categories and serving relevant ads because of that. So it was effectively a no-brainer, an easy solution to deliver all of that traffic. The problem with that is that, one, it's a single campaign, single ad group, which is delivering a ROAS of 3.7, which isn't really profitable. So we have a couple of PMAX campaigns which are frankly hit and a miss because also because there is also a deficiency in structure and listing groups there. Yeah, by the way, this account needs a lot of work. I'm just talking about structure here. So basically you have, let's say, as far as search campaigns are concerned, we have 10 of them, which frankly can easily be condensed into 5. If you want, you can have many ad groups in there, single theme ad groups where one is covering each category. And this is the problem because it takes a bit of footwork to get there. PMAX campaigns, we have 9, and the rest I'm not going to talk about. So the point of this video is this is a specific case. So it's very search heavy because of DSA. How do you alleviate this? Very simple. You introduce PMAX campaigns which are going to take over DSA in a better format, simply because they're going to deliver better ROAS. Historically, PMAX has always been performing well, in e-com niche. So in that sense, that's definitely a step in the right direction. Secondly, this is called branded campaign, but technically it's not branded. So in that sense, it needs to be restructured, and then you restructure it according to categories in this case, which is a bit of work. And then you have another search campaign or another couple of search campaigns where you effectively replace all of these, where you introduce not replace, where you introduce all of the goals that client give you, like, hey, push this special product or push this special category, you put it into here. That's how I like to do it. This third part is completely optional. I just like to have an additional degree of control over whatever targets we are looking to hit for this month. And then you do the same systematic approach for PMAX campaigns, which is going to take over dynamic. One additional note here is that apart from all of these campaigns that I've been talking about, one additional campaign that we should have here on an account with this much spend is that are actually effective shopping campaigns, which are performing just horribly right now. And part of it is because the setup is just not done well, but also there is a lot of competition from the existing PMAX campaigns, and this is something that needs to be alleviated. The primary point, why am I showing you this, is that there is a strategy that if you just take a top-down approach and take a strategic overview of everything that's going on, you can easily see, if you are at least a decent PPC specialist, you can easily see that most of these problems can be solved with the restructuring. This is not the only problem that this account has, but for example, it's one of these, because I've done like a couple of audits this week only, which are fairly similar. This is one of these examples where it's much more obvious that the structure and strategic approach are the two main differentiators between good performance and bad performance. Even though I have to admit, the PPC specialist who did the work here was diligent, there is no doubt about it, but basically, it wasn't enough. It's not enough being diligent if you're not taking a look at broader picture and taking stuff which is apparently obvious, such as this. Hope you find this video helpful. Have a great day. Bye.